Today we are going to talk about the book 21 Days of Effective Communication, written by Ian Tversky. In this book, the writer discovers how effective communication can solve many mysteries and bring about powerful changes in life. As we move forward in life, many of us inadvertently adopt bad ways of communication. Maybe you are one of them. But do these ways help you to be happy, successful, independent, and effective? Do you really deserve it? If not, then in 21 days of effective communication, you will not only learn how your way of talking affects your success, but you will also learn how easy it is to end bad habits of communication, adopt good habits, and build good relationships with people. In this book, you will learn how you can build good relationships with your partner and how to become a better public speaker so that you can inspire and motivate people you care about. Along with this, you will learn how to use good ways of communication to achieve great success. In this way, in this book, we will talk about 21 best ways of communication that you can use in your life for 21 consecutive days to improve your communication skills. Let's start and talk about 21 different habits, in which the first habit is listening. There are some important tips to become a good listener, like first of all, use verbal and nonverbal signals to encourage the speaker to speak continuously. After this, give the other person a chance to speak until you feel that you want to say something important or their work has been done. Third, while listening to the other person, don't behave like a psychologist, like you are listening to them and trying to do some research. Instead, try to engage with their words like a friend. Fourth, if you feel that the other person needs better advice, and you have better advice than them, then politely give them suggestions to help them. Fifth tip is to rephrase the other person's words so that they feel that you are listening to them carefully. As an example, if someone says to you that, "I want you to come with me there," then you can say in reply that, "Okay, so you want me to come with you there?" And then you start talking. But keep in mind here that do not copy the other person's words, but repeat the same thing so that they realize that you are listening to them carefully. And finally, to adopt this habit in your life from now on, start adopting this habit with your close friends and family members. The second habit of effective communication is to count how many times you have interrupted people. This will not only give you the clarity that knowingly or unknowingly how many times you have interrupted a person, but you will also get a good chance to improve this habit. There are a few ways here by which you can end this habit of interrupting. First of all, make a goal to reduce the habit of interrupting and reward yourself for achieving that goal. Second, to reduce or end this habit, it is also very beneficial to make notes, such as you can write it on your computer screen or on the wallpaper of your mobile phone, so that whenever you look at it all day, the thought of ending this habit immediately comes to your mind. And where you cannot take such notes, such as during a meeting with your client or boss, then write it in your important file or checklist at that time so that you remember that you have to end your habit of interruption. Often you must have noticed in your life that people who speak more are more effective than people who speak more. And people also like to listen to their words. So you should also speak only important things and make as much distance as possible from useless things. Also, whenever you interrupt someone unknowingly and immediately think of this, then at the same time cut your tongue with your teeth a little so that you realize self-punishment, so that the thoughts of not interrupting the next time are already in your mind. The third habit is to become an inclusive communicator. In simple words, an inclusive communicator is one who gets involved with everyone. That is, instead of taking a decision on the basis of an individual's opinion, in his opinion or group, he believes in taking a better decision. Therefore, in today's society of unity and diversity, the demand for such people is increasing. To have an inclusive conversation, you need some important tips. For example, instead of giving priority to a person or a group, try to take a joint decision. Second, do not assume about a person or his gender without knowing it. For example, if you are meeting your boss for the first time and do not know about his gender, instead of saying he or she, use the word they. And third, instead of exposing a person's disability, pay attention to his ability and positivity. The fourth habit is to increase your vocabulary, that is, improve it, because during personal and professional conversation, using good words has more impact. Because when you get more familiar with difficult words through good vocabulary, your reading and speaking speed also increases, because then you don't have to stop to say any word. Here are some ways to increase your vocabulary. For example, first of all, learn a new word every day and use it at least 11 times a day. Second, to learn new words, to use them in your daily life, become an excited person who is always ready to learn new words whenever he gets a chance and to use them in his conversation. Third, read a page of a book at least every day. By reading it, not only will your vocabulary improve, but along with it, your knowledge will also increase, which plays an important role in improving different stages of life. And fourth, never be ashamed to ask. If you feel that you have not understood, then ask them without hesitation so that you get a chance to learn a new thing. Fifth habit is to use yet instead of but. Usually in our lives, there are times when we have to face unwanted situations and negativity, even though we don't want to. In such a situation, you can change a few words of your conversation and make your conversation and environment positive. For example, if someone says that I love to play, but I am afraid of failing and getting hurt, then you are saying the truth, but there is negativity in it. So you can say something like this, that I love to play and I am afraid of falling. By saying this, your attention will start to transform on the solution instead of the problem. Similarly, use yet in negative things. For example, if someone says, I don't have the money needed to buy a nice house, then your pessimistic attitude will shine, which people often don't like. But if you say this in an optimistic way, that although I don't have the necessary money to buy a good house, then by saying this, you show an attitude in which you don't have the necessary resources to solve the problem. But your optimistic attitude shows that you will fix it in the future, and people like such a person more. Sixth habit is to improve your pronouns. Pronouns means during the conversation, you, I, we, they. Which of these words do you use more? For example, in your family, friends, office colleagues, or during a meeting with your boss. Which pronouns do you use more to say your words? If you keep your words limited to just I, that means you don't involve the other person in your words, or use the word we less, then chances are that that person won't be interested in listening to you. But if you use the word we along with the word The other person, will feel involved in your words and they will feel connected to you, which will make them listen to your words. So try to use the word we more than I in your words. The seventh habit is to offer help to others. As a human being, it is our duty to help others. And if the help is done in the right way, then the person who helps also feels good, and the one who takes the help also, because there is a sense of equality and not of any favor. So in this part, we are going to talk about how to offer help to another person. So for that, you should adopt some methods during your conversation. First of all, if you are helping an unknown person, then first of all, make it clear to him why do you want to help him. Here, with your positive and good intentions, it is more likely that he will be ready to take help from you, or else he may not take help from you and start judging you. Second, before helping any person, ask him something like, "Can I help you?" Or by doing this, "Can I help you?" By doing this, he will not only be ready to take your help without judgment, but your reputation will also increase in his eyes. Third, as you want someone else to help you and make your situation better instead of changing you, because no one really wants to change their nature. Every person loves himself. Similarly, you should also take care that instead of changing his character to help others, help him to change his situation. Next, offer emotional help to anyone when you are sure that they trust you and do not judge you. And if any of your family members, friends, or relatives are in financial trouble, then to help them financially, do as much as possible in a flexible way, because many people are more self-respecting, and if they are offered financial help directly, then due to their self-respect, they may refuse. That is why flexible ways of helping should be adopted, like by giving a gift, playing a contest, or passing a challenge. Make a habit of saying thank you. Whether you are less successful or more successful, make a habit of saying thank you to every person who helps you so that your image remains positive in the eyes of others. For this, you can adopt these ways. Say thank you to the person who helps you after completing the task. Apart from this, never reject any compliment. In fact, whenever a person praises you in any way, do not hesitate to say thank you in return. Apart from this, to be happy from within and to become powerful every night before going to bed. Say thank you to everyone on a paper pen who has helped you to live a happy and good life. In this way, say thank you to your colleagues, your family members at home, and say thank you to your family, colleagues, and God on a paper pen before going to bed. Ninth habit, stop pointing out. If you want someone to like you and be with you, then instead of pointing them out, try to stay together. It is possible that your thoughts are different on one topic, but many times it happens that you both think and believe. So instead of pointing them out, focus on common things and try to talk about it. Because by pointing out other people, you may prove them wrong and win yourself. But there are chances that the other person doesn't like you and doesn't want to be with you. 10th habit, ask questions to get answers. Ask questions. If possible, try to say your point in simple and short words and sentences. Instead of saying your whole thing at once, pause a little and stop and say what you need to say. This increases your image in the eyes of the other person, and they understand it better. The next habit that has been talked about is to pay attention to behavior, not to character. For example, if you are the boss or leader of a company and there is a responsible person in your house, then to get others to work, to change their behavior, politely inspire them. Instead of pointing out their mistakes, show them down and tell them to correct their mistakes. The next habit is to know the background of your conversation. That is, try to know that to communicate with each other, which person do you get inspired from and which methods do you adopt? Uncover them and see that through their conversation, in relationships, in life, they are able to achieve those things that they want. And if they are able to do this, then it is obvious that you can do it too. But if they are not able to do this, then immediately leave that method and adopt a better way of talking. The next point is to understand how different generations interact. The first of all in all of this is baby boomer generation. That is, those people who were born between 1946 and 1964. People of this generation believe that there is a lot of competition and they will get rewards for being loyal to the company. That is why these people believe more in teamwork and want productive conversations to be had during the meeting so that they can make good use of their time. So if you interact with people of this generation while keeping all these things in mind, then they will like you and will also want to connect with you. The next is Generation X. That is, those people who were born between 1965 and 1980. People of this generation, instead of being loyal to any company for 10 years, give importance to changing jobs for their own benefit. That is why most people of this generation try to do their own work, because they like personal freedom more. That is why these people, instead of just sitting quietly and doing their work, prefer to do their work with fun. After this comes Generation Y. That is, those people who were born between 1981 and 1997. People of this group give more importance to digital communication than personal communication, and these people prefer to get feedback and want other people to invite them to give their opinion about the project or work. Not only this, their biggest feature is that these people want work-life balance to always be maintained. Finally comes Generation Z. That is, those people who were born between 1998 and now. People of this generation give more importance to globalization and are more aware of their career options than the previous generation. They value independence, innovation, and creativity, and because these people were born during the time of economic growth, that is why, compared to the other generation, they want to earn more money. In this way, by understanding different generations and talking according to them, you can easily attract them to you. The next habit is to get used to talking on email. Practice writing effective mail to your senior or boss and apply these methods to your email. If the other person is your senior, then mirror their tone. For example, if they write yours or regards at the end of their email, then you also write yours or regards at the end of your email while writing to them. Write your email with points and add your contact number to it, especially when you want to talk to the other person about a serious matter so that they can easily reach you to talk about it. Write the subject line of your email in as few words as possible so that it conveys the main message of the entire email. And while writing your email, feel as if the other person is reading the email while sitting next to you. By keeping these things in mind while writing an email, you can also write a balanced email, keeping in mind the perspective of the other person. The next habit is to stop degrading yourself. While talking to the other person, always keep yourself equal to them. And if needed, Don't look down on yourself without any genuine reason. Often, many people look down on themselves because many people don't want to live with arrogance. And usually, our parents sometimes teach us to bow down to live with others, which is a good advice, but it's not right to bow down in front of everyone all the time. Apart from this, the biggest reason to bow down is to have less self-confidence in people. And now, let's talk about the result of belittling yourself. Those who get used to doing this start belittling themselves less than others, even if they have a lot of abilities. Apart from this, it is possible that you also miss those good opportunities through which you can completely change your life. Along with this, other people also feel that you are judging them. Next, we will talk about how to take advice from others. To take advice from others, talk to them in the right way. And for that, first tell them your objective and what problem you want to solve. Apart from this, also tell them why their advice can be more beneficial for you. And to take good advice, tell them what you want to achieve through their advice. Along with this, after getting advice, thank them. Now, let's talk about how to stay away from ignorant people. If you think that the other person is talking uselessly or their words are not relevant, then by adopting some methods, you can stop such people from talking. If you think that they are boring you, then give them some work to which they get busy. And if you think that they are talking more than necessary, then start asking them about their personal details. And as we all know that every person does not tell every personal thing in front of others, then after telling some things, they will also shut up. Apart from this, you can ask them directly that, what do you want to talk about? Or why are you talking about this? Next is motivate others. In the sales field, it often happens that where a salesman wants to motivate his client with his words and wants his client to be as motivated about his product or service as the salesman. Because when this happens, the client can buy his product or service. And this happens in different aspects of life too. Like to motivate your life partner for something, your family members, and many more places. So in this way, to convince others about something, to do some work, or to use something to motivate, use these methods. First of all, by praising them honestly and by talking a little differently. With honesty, focus on yourself. Then, while talking, feel their need and show them their need. Then tell them how you can fulfill their needs. Then ensure that if they join you, then how can they achieve better results in the future? And give an overview of your next step so that they can see a clear path for the results of your better future and the benefits of joining you. The next habit is to improve your mediation skill. Mediation means to talk like a mediator between two parties so that both parties can easily make beneficial decisions and both can benefit from it. Besides this, mediation is a good skill that plays an important role in maintaining a balanced communication. So for mediation, you can use some methods while talking. First of all, ensure that to become a mediator, you are a suitable candidate, after which both parties are ready to listen. As a good mediator, make some important rules of communication. For example, while one party is talking, the other will not interfere. Apart from this, ask both parties about their agenda and what they really want. Listen to both parties carefully so that you can understand the reason for their conflict. Then listen to their talks and decide which things should be resolved and which should be ignored. This is better for both. Then both parties should agree to the decisions taken one by one, and brainstorm to adopt them so that they agree to the decisions taken and do not have any kind of conflict again. Then motivate both parties to agree to the decisions taken and achieve their goal. The last habit is to remove a glitch from your daily conversation. During the conversation, whether it is in words, tone, or in any other way that you do not want to do during your conversation, write them down and improve them over time. To adopt this well in your life, pay attention to your words and the way you talk, and pay attention to the way you talk to others. Use these ways and words for your conversation. So friends, in this video, we talked about 21 different ways to talk that you can adopt in your conversation and improve the ways you talk from today. This will not only increase your self-confidence, but will also create an impression among other people, and people will like you and want to join you. In this way, a better conversation will prove very beneficial in your professional life, which will also help you in getting success. Along with this, it can also help you in making your family members better in your personal life. We hope that you have learned many important and good ways to talk. Now you adopt them in your life for 21 days and make your future results and relationships with people better. By consciously doing these habits for 21 days, these habits will become permanent. Thank you, friends. Meet again with next amazing audiobook. Please subscribe.